Good morning, everyone. It's Joker, and today we're back with another slime video. And today we are back on EX3 Tempered Edge for the new space stage, and we are here to attempt a few of the missions that are associated with that stage. Primarily the all-space team and physical team, and at least two 4-star units on the team. So we have assembled, this is what you see. We have Protector Shizu, because this stage nerfs crit damage, right? Because they have increased crit resistance, but they don't have any protection against Pierce, which can be helpful because they are quite tanky, they have a lot of defense, and they have guard, which Pierce will definitely help get through some of that, at least for your normal attacks, and your ults too. Bypassing a lot of that defense will come in very handy. And then we've got the 4-star Space Hawkero, the 4-star Grucius, who does not see a lot of play normally, and he does have an interesting skill that, if you level it up, can be useful, because he has an orb change to blue, which is fine, but he also has this decreases a single target's physical resistance by 38%. So since this team is all made up of physical attackers, it works out pretty well. It is quite expensive, and it only goes up to 40% at level 10, so I'm not missing too much on it right now, but we can definitely make use of it, seeing as everyone is physical, and it will just make you hit that much harder. And then we've got, AoE Space Rimuru, we've got AoE Hero, and then we've got Carrion. These are the 3 damage dealers, right? And Hawkero and Grucius are here for the missions, but at least Grucius has a skill that can come in handy. Hawkero does have a skill where he lowers guard power, which it's only 15%, maybe 20 at level 10. It's not the greatest thing in the world, but again, it is a skill that could be useful. Could. Not will, but could. So, this is the team I've assembled. You could easily take away Hawkero for Misery, since she is a free 6-star unit, and everyone should have her. Whether or not she's completely done or not is a different story, but we're 19 days into the month, and Misery, I think, should be getting close to done, at least for most players, if not already done. And she does have that added benefit of being a healer. And there's also a mission for doing it with Misery on the team. Funnily enough, this team beat it, but my team with Misery can't. So I don't know how that's working out. We're still attempting that. But yes, you can, if you don't have Grucius or Hawkero, just bring in Misery. She'll help you out. And she buffs greens, which is good because Shizu makes greens, right? Guy is changing 3 and 3 into 6 greens. Shizu is changing 3 and 3 into 6 greens. Guy is giving alt gauge and the AoE resistance debuff. Shizu is giving Pierce, which you do need to use a few skills to get her to stack up, because her base thing of 70, for me, when I'm using it, feels more like 20, unless I'm at 100% Pierce rate. So there is some play there where you have to maybe slam a few skills in the first 3 turns that you really don't want to, but at least you can get full 6 hands of greens that are not nerfed. So this video is pre-recorded because I wasn't sure how many attempts it would take, and actually it only took 1. Only 1. It wasn't a pretty run, but it was the winning run. Because I didn't want to beat it with everyone alive. I just wanted the physical space and 4-star missions done. So let's go ahead and bring up that video real fast. Here we go, and we'll skip through into the starting stage. So we're going to bring in Carrion and the hero from the back, because, yeah, we'll see if we get some decent orbs, and not really. Not the greatest thing in the world. We can use an orb change with Grucius. We'll get 3 blues. It won't get us Shizu next turn, like 4 blues would, or if we had light Rimuru on the field too. But hey, it's something, right? So turn 2, we're going to get binded in, so we want to be confident that the 3 that are up front right now are going to be the ones that can tank reasonably well, which they are. So Rimuru's got his defense buff that we can pop at any time that would help us. The only problem with this team is that you're limited to 100 skill points, right? And Shizu doesn't give you more skill points. So that is a factor, but so if you want to get some like high damage buffs, you'd want to buff with Rimuru, and then send 2 of them to the back when they have ults, and then bringing them in next turn when you have enough points to use the hero crit, and then Carrion's crit, which is what we're going to do here. So we're not using Shizu yet because we've gotten some interesting hands, either with 5 green, of which case it wasn't really worth it, or we've gotten 4 oranges, but we've used the rewind, so now we can use Shizu, get that full hand of green, and that should set us up pretty well for ults next turn, except for Carrion. But that's fine, because ideally, I want the Rimuru buff on Rimuru and the hero, because Carrion's crit buff gives him attack, right? It's not as much as Rimuru, it's like 20% versus 40% or something, but at least he gives himself an attack buff, so he's not really missing out on too much, right? So we're going to use the attack buff here, we're not binded in anymore, and then we're going to swap Hero and Rimuru into the back, and then with this we actually pull in that last Carrion card, which is great. So we could send the 4 Carrions and call it good, or we could just use Shizu, because 6 greens will definitely get us another full protection meter, which is good for, you know, the nuking turn. That way you can take advantage of having all those buffs and a 6 card send for that 200% boost on that last green orb. It would really help out our damage right here. So we're going to lower the guard power of Milim. It's okay. Like I said, it's a skill you can use. You don't have to, but any little bit helps, right? 6,000 damage, crit, pierce, weak point. Get the pierce there for 11.7, which is decent damage. So now we have 3 ults. Carrion's looking quite low, and we don't have a healer on this team, which is also unfortunate. But now we have enough points where we can bring in the hero, and we can bring in Rimuru, have triple ults, while also having the attack buff from Rimuru on our AoEs, and then having enough to get the crit buff, and then the crit buff from Carrion, who also gives an attack. So everyone has double boost, right? Technically triple, because Shizu gives 10% ult damage. It's whatever. We know that Shizu, in conjunction with like Xion, can hit very, very hard, but we don't have anyone up in Pierce power here. So it is what it is. So we're going to send everything. We're going to make sure the hero is last because she has the highest attack stat on this team, especially since she has the extra 40% attack boost. So now we've got the AoEs. We did the Carrion already. Hopefully, hero can kill. Which, we're close. Close. Very close. Just barely not. So, now I'm praying that she doesn't heal, because, you know, Valentine's going to heal the lowest proportional HP, which is Milim. Thankfully, no heal comes in, so we're saved. And we can also get rid of this AoE ult, which saves us a crap ton of damage. So now she's dead, and now we can start working on Valentine as the healer, who's going to try and keep herself and Dino alive. So yeah, there's an 18,000 heal, which isn't great, but you gotta work with what you gotta work with, right? At this point, we're on turn 7. We're all pretty low on health on the front 3, so we're gonna bring in Hawker and Grusha, since they're pretty well capped up, and then we're gonna work on getting Rimuru's ult again, and then we can send him away. And we're just chipping away damage now on Valentine. So we're getting a lot of oranges, which is cool. And we've also been stunned, which means I can't swap out Rimuru, which is great. Thank you. It kind of foils the plan, because look at that. We would have had 3 oranges plus another blue for Rimuru coming in. We could have gotten like Carrion or Hero's ult, but no. So we send everything, and it ends up just being 1 Grusha's orb. But at least we have a double ult for Rimuru now. So I mean, it's good. It's fine. Carrion's going to come in for... I don't really... Do I swap Carrion in? He's like a nut tap away. Oh, he does come in. Alright. And then we're going to take you out for... Ooh. Interesting play. Alright, we're going to attack buff here, which I think in hindsight, not the best idea, because we're missing, 2 ults. We're going to get Shizu, which is going to get us, I think, Carrion and Hero's ult, right? Yeah. So we're going to send the ult. Rimuru's got another one in the back. We're going to have triple ult next turn, we'll still have points, right? We have 85 points again. So Reamer's attack buff and the normals are attack buffed and pierce buffed, kind of. Guarded that one, fine. But now we have triple ult as long as nobody dies. Alright, there we go. So now we have a 6-card set, right? But the blues are nerfed, which we don't really want to work with that. So we're going to crit buff. We're going to Shizu right here to get rid of those attack nerfs on the blues and bring in some greens. And now we're going to continue to send on Valentine and pray that this triple ult with, you know, ult buff and crit buff works. It's unfortunate we couldn't get that extra crit damage buff from Carrion, but we really weren't going to live another turn with him up front, so we kind of just did what we had to do, and unfortunately, it does not work. She's low, not dead. Carrion's dead, so already we've failed the 5 Alives mission, but that's fine. I didn't expect going into this fight that we would have everybody alive, so we're just going to continue to whittle down Valentine. And I think she heals herself there. Thankfully it's not too much, and that way we can go ahead and send the Grucius ult. We can also use his resistance down to make sure that Valentine dies. I want her gone because she will heal next turn, and I don't want that. So Grucius will watch his ult because it's not something you see every day. This is not a pretty fight, right? Without Guy, without Velzar, without the whole like AoE meta, you know, lowering everything, having the highest DPS in any 3 turns of any team, still didn't die. Thankfully, didn't heal. So you really let me down, Grucius. If he was 100, then yeah, he probably would have killed with that extra ult modifier, but now she's dead. Now we have to work on Dino, who is sealing our attack up and then lowering our attack by a monstrous, I think, 50%. Maybe more, maybe 80. It's a huge nerf. So now, whoever's on your backline really needs to be your like good damage. It's unfortunate that Carrion is dead. And look at that, like Grucius, hero, a nut tap away from health. So it's not looking good. But we have a full 6-card send, we have a hero ult, so why not send it? The hero does a magical 3,800 damage. So we're looking real good. 388 damage from Grucius, but then Hakuro, without, you know, being attack nerfed, can do okay damage. You know, 5,000 with the Pierce. He's a natural 4-star. I don't expect too much out of him. And he doesn't have like a 6-star awakened weapon or anything. So now it's just keep on whittling it down. It's a long fight. If you're not worried about the 4-star team, you can swap Grucius or Hakuro for like Rommerus or something and just get a massive heal. Okay, so Grucius is dead. It's just, you know, point management at that time because her heal already costs 55 to begin with. It's a massive heal, but it also costs a bit, and it's only going to go up, right? Which is the problem I've been running into running Misery, is that I need to heal everyone, but eventually it's going to be 100 skill points, and I don't have that. So now we're down to 2 units. We have 2 ults, we have crit buff, and we have pierce buff. So we're banking everything on this turn right here. An AoE and a single target ult. And then a 150% modifier. So 18.9, decent. Hakuro does 17.7 because hero is good and Hakuro is not. But finally that 150% we crit, we pierce, and we weak point, and finally Dino is dead. So we have accomplished 3 missions, all physical, all space, and with at least 2 4-star units on the team, being Grucius and Hakuro. So that is the run right there. Again, not pretty, but we did what we needed to do, and we got the missions done. So now the only thing that I have left is beat it with everyone alive 2 more times, use at least 6 magic-changing battle skills, and clear with Misery. So we'll deal with those later. But that's it for me, guys. Let me know in the comments how your missions are going, if you've already done them, what other teams can you use. But like I said, that's it for me. Take it easy, and I'll see you later.